Look everyone, the WWE network is trending! Oh. Hello my fellow Marks and welcome to a very special edition of the Mark Remark, focusing on the Royal RumBOOOOO. Sorry, slip of the tongue there. I meant to say Royal RumBOOOOO. The Royal Rumble. I'm your host Martin, and even I would have been a better choice to win the Royal Rumble match. And I'm shit. This year's Royal Rumble kicks off with the Kickoff Show, a name inspired by Vince McMahon's desire to kick Corey Graves off the roster entirely. The panel of experts highlights a tweet from earlier in the day posted by WWE legend Hacksaw Jim Duggan. Duggan reflects on being the first ever winner of the Royal Rumble match, back when the match didn't actually mean anything and was the wrestling equivalent of getting a gold star from teacher. Good job, Jimmy. Your parents must be very proud of you. You're special. Little Jimmy Winnie go win the Royal Rumble. We are shocked to learn that The Rock is in Philadelphia, totally telegraphing his surprise appearance at the pay-per-view. Booker T is very excited by this, so he starts tweeting at The Rock in excitement. Did you know that professional wrestlers have Twitter accounts? I didn't. This is completely new information to me. I'm so glad that the WWE are choosing to inform us of what wrestlers are tweeting about, rather than focusing on actual news and wrestling matches. Tweets are just so helpful in developing storylines. Remember back in the day when Andre the Giant turned on Hulk Hogan by leaving him an angry voicemail? And instead of actually seeing anything, the WWE just told us about it after the fact. Classic moment! The panel of experts and Booker T have a bit of a natter about the upcoming tag team match between the New Day and Tyson Kidd and Cesaro. Booker T shares his insight as to why Kofi Kingston will be the difference maker in the team.
Because Kofi Kingston, he's a guy who has done it here. He is the guy.
I agree, Booker. Kofi Kingston certainly is the guy, and he has done it here in the WWE. None of the other wrestlers are guys, and they have done nothing. Backstage, Tom Phillips is covering social media. Woo, goody, more tweets! Give them to me! Causing everyone at home to ask, who the fuck is Tom Phillips? Renee Young points out that Philadelphia is the home of Rocky, and that tonight someone has to play the role of Apollo Creed. If I know my Rocky lore correctly, and I fucking know my Rocky lore, this implies that at some point during the pay-per-view, Rusev, the equivalent of Rocky IV's Ivan Drago, is going to murder somebody by punching them to death. Just so long as we hear what the other wrestlers are tweeting about it. That's all I ask. Next up, the panel of anal cysts. Analysts analyze the Divas tag team match later on in the night, which is in no way a cheap attempt to promote Total Divas. Booker T is especially insightful.
I think Natalya might be the recipe, actually, for Paige.
Yes, Booker. Natalya is certainly the recipe. Mind telling us what the recipe is for? A recipe for success? Recipe for destruction? Recipe for Big Show's favorite pudding? Backstage, Tom, whoever the fuck Phillips, is interviewing the New Age Outlaws, who are so fired up and incensed by their upcoming match against the Ascension that they promote the WWE network for a good 5 minutes. Remember when Andre the Giant turned on Hulk Hogan and then promoted the fact that Wrestlemania 2 was out on VHS? Classic moment! Booker T has a sit-down interview with Shawn Michaels, a man who won the Royal Rumble when it actually meant something. But don't worry, Jimmy, we still think you're really cool too. Look, we'll even put a copy of your tweet on the fridge so everyone can see it. Then there is an actual wrestling match. The fuck? Between the New Day and Cesaro and Tyson Kidd. Xavier Woods announces on the way to the ring that the New Day is a lot like cough medicine. It doesn't taste good going down, but it makes you feel good. Hold on a second, I need about 2 hours to understand your metaphor. I'm really glad they went with that comparison rather than one that actually makes sense. Ooh, I've got one. The New Day is like a pile of shit. It's a pile of shit. And it's shit. No, you're right, cough medicine, much better. The two teams do battle, and Kofi Kingston proves once again that he is the guy, and has done it in the WWE, by being a guy and doing it in the WWE. Thank God for that panel of experts, or I never would have known. The Philadelphia crowd behaves very disobediently and cheers for Cesaro the entire match. Naughty Philadelphia fans, go to your room with no supper. You know what you did. Also, Adam Rose. Adam Rose. Adam Rose. Whoever the fuck that is interviewing Ryback, Eric Rowan, and Dolph Ziggler. Meanwhile, Eric Rowan is still in the middle of his promo from last week's SmackDown.
See, I, believe it or not, used to be a different person.
Tom Phillips, who manages to upset Eric Rowan by mentioning the fact that he's not in the Royal Rumble match. Yes, Eric Rowan, I'm sure you had a shot at winning the Royal Rumble and main eventing WrestleMania. The PPV begins, and we learn that this year the Royal Rumble is sponsored by WWE Immortals, a game that shocked the world, including the people who made it, by being actually playable, and the shitty version of Netflix. Did you know that NXT is on Hulu? And did you also know that it costs less to get Hulu than it does to subscribe to the WWE Network? Just thought I'd mention. The New Age Outlaws come out, and Road Dogg announces that it's just him and Slick Willy getting silly in Philly. No, Road Dogg! Don't use rhyming words! That's just what your enemies, the Ascension, want you to do. Don't stoop to their level. You're better than that. I believed in you. The Outlaws wrestle with the Legion of Goons, and Road Dogg makes the critical error of using all 3 of his moves in the first 10 seconds of the match, allowing the Ascension to pick up the victory. JBL takes the opportunity to throw the Ascension under the bus, claiming that this is the first win that they've had that actually meant anything. It's not as though they were dominating the NXT tag team division for months or anything. No, you're right, JBL. Beating up 2 middle-aged old men is really their only accomplishment. Triple H and Stephanie are still reeling after Sting's pointy finger attack on Raw. Triple H is justifiably angry because nobody knew that Sting was there, and yet 5 people have told him about Nikolai Volkov being in the car park. Yes, but what is he tweeting about it? For the love of God, tell me what the tweets are saying! Pee Wee Herman comes in and tells them that he has a solution to the problem. Brock Lesnar. In fact, he posits that Brock Lesnar is the solution to every problem. How do I get this stain out of my carpet? Brock Lesnar. How do we deal with the North Korea problem? Brock Lesnar. How much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? Brock Lesnar. I'm joking, of course. The real answer to those problems is John Cena. The Miz and Mizdow are wrestling the Usos for what feels like the 15th time today. At a certain point, Jimmy and/or Jay Uso tries a flipping senton over the top rope, but lands awkwardly on his back on the outside of the ring, completely missing the miss. Sorry, missing the Miz. It's okay though. The Philadelphia fans show their support by chanting, "You buck up! You buck up! You buck up!" So supportive, those Philly fans. Backstage, J&J Security are playing the WWE Immortals video game. I can't wait for the inevitable J&J Security Let's Play channel on the WWE Network, where they will no doubt play other such non-video games as WWE 2K15. WWE 2K15. We just couldn't be asked to put women in our game. Those pesky women and their tits. Speaking of tits and asses, next up is the Divas match. I understand that a lot of you have been frustrated by the fact that I keep getting up to take a piss during the Divas matches. So in order to counteract that, I've had nothing to eat or drink in the last several days. So there's no way I'll need to use the bathroom. Paige and Natalya took on the Bello twins, stars of the extremely successful Oh God, Everything's Gone Dark. Okay, where was I? Ah yes, the triple threat match. John Wiener, Brock Lesnar, and Seth Rollins had a fantastic bout, which is really fucking weird because none of these people are Roman Reigns. And obviously everybody loves Roman Reigns. You like Roman Reigns, don't you? How could you not? He's Roman Reigns. He's got all that Roman Reigns stuff going on. Yay! Brock started the match with his contractually obligated 5,000 German suplexes, allowing JBL to give us some insight into Brock's moveset.
Another suplex to Cena, tossing him all the way across the ring.
Almost a suplex throw.
Yes, it was almost like a suplex throw. In fact, I'd even go as far as to say it was a suplex throw, because suplexes are fucking throws. You can't actually suplex someone without throwing them. I'd be very concerned if it wasn't a suplex throw. Why even bother calling it a suplex throw when we could call it a suplex suplex? JBL there giving us redundant information. Glad he's on board. Then at some point, confusion breaks out as Barrock is forced to spice things up with a vertical suplex. Sorry, I mean a vertical suplex throw. Then Seth Rollins channels Super Mario and jumps on top of John Cena and Brock Lesnar's heads in a rather ugly spot that ends up looking really cool, so it's okay. JBL is very impressed by Barrock's resiliency and says that he's the closest thing the world will ever see to a pure gladiator. You know, except for actual gladiators that existed in history, in real life. Everybody kicks out of everybody else's finisher, which is really exciting and doesn't demean the point of finishers in the first place. Then Seth Rollins does an impressive flying elbow off the top rope, driving Barrock through the announce table. Even when Brock Lesnar is wrestling, he is not wrestling. Seth Rollins breaks out the Phoenix Splash, a move so impressive that the announcers don't know what the fuck it is. Then Barrock comes back in and German suplexes the entire ring. He just picks up the entire ring and just suplexes it. And then F5 Seth Rollins onto his own briefcase, winning the match with no assistance whatsoever. Wow. If Barrock can kick out of John Cena's finisher about 5 times during a match, I can't imagine what it's going to take to finally put him down. They'll have to find a superstar who's already a credible threat and is really, really popular if we're to believe that he could beat Barrock. Speaking of someone who hasn't done any of those things, Roman Reigns gives us his thoughts on the Royal Rumble match. Guess what? He feels mildly smug about it. Shocker. The Big Show also makes noises with his mouth, stating that of course he's going to win the Royal Rumble because he's really tall and shit. Whereas everybody else in the Rumble, not quite as tall and shit. You know, in England, we don't call him the Big Show. We call him the Large Program. Loses something in the translation. There's a promo for the new WWE pay-per-view called Fastlane. They were going to call it Carpool Lane, but unfortunately, they couldn't find anybody who wanted to drive with them. Oh, I get it, because we're on the road to Wrestlemania. That is very clever, and not at all a shitty substitute for whatever it was called before. At long last, the Royal Roman begins. Sorry, I meant to say the Roman Rumble. The Roman Reigns Bull. Bloody speech impediment. In this match, 30 men gradually come down to the ring and pretend that it's really, really hard to throw each other over the top rope, despite doing it effortlessly in every other match ever. Ever. The first 2 entrants are Johnny Cage and K-Quick, who comes to the ring with a microphone saying, "Philadelphia, make some noise!" I don't know, Mr. Quick, those Philadelphia fans are a pretty quiet bunch. Even Japanese wrestling fans think it's weird that they're so quiet. Come on, Philly fans, don't be shy. Tell us how you really feel. Entrant number 3 is Bubba Ray Dudley, the token ECW fan service for this pay-per-view. He tells K-Quick to get the tables, and K-Quick responds by not doing that. Well, maybe if Bubba had asked nicely, probably for the best, really. After all, if it's super hard to throw someone over the top rope in a Rumble, imagine how hard it would be to put someone through a table. Numbers 4 and 5 are Luke Harper and Bray Wyatt, who unceremoniously throw Bubba Ray over the top rope. Truly, the spirit of ECW lives on. Number 6 is Curtis Axel, who is immediately taken out by Eric Rowan, completely invalidating the result of his match from SmackDown. And who even remembers what happened on that show? What's it called? What down? Smack what? The Wyatt family have a legitimately cool moment where they fight amongst each other, while the Philadelphia fans demonstrate their maintained interest by chanting for Devon Dudley, a man who isn't even in the match. Number 7 is the Boogeyman. Sorry, getting ahead of myself with the booze there. At number 8, it's the human lowlight reel, Sin Cara. He is quickly dispatched, only to be followed at number 9 by the internet's favorite wrestler, Sir Not Appearing on this pay-per-view. After Mr. Not Appearing is eliminated from the Rumble, JBL comments quite quirkily that Sin Cara is Spanish for "you're eliminated," about 5 minutes after Sin Cara was last on screen. Okay, first of all, we all know that Sin Cara is Spanish for "oops, I fucked up, let me try that move again." Secondly, that was a really random thing to say at a completely inappropriate time. Speaking of inappropriately timed things, Daniel Bryan enters the Rumble way too early at number 10. Quite Quite! He's followed soon thereafter by Fandango and Tyson Kidd. Tyson Kidd nails a perfect dropkick on Fandango, but unfortunately the camera wasn't pointed at him at the time. In fact, when the camera isn't pointing at him, Tyson Kidd is actually a very successful and popular wrestler. If only we had video footage of that. Stardust comes out at number 13. Did you know that Sin Cara was Spanish for "you're eliminated"? True story, and totally relevant to what's happening right now. Number 14 is Diamond Dallas Page, a man who saved the lives of both Jake the Snake Roberts and Scott Hall. But unfortunately for us, he was unable to save this pay-per-view. Rusev marches straight out of the 80s and into the ring at number 15. Meanwhile, Daniel Bryan is kicking everybody in the face. Quite, causing JBL to remark,
Thank God he only has 2 feet. If he's an octopus, he might beat everybody up.
and now there is furry art of Daniel Bryan as an octopus. Thank you for that, JBL. You've made the internet a much darker place. To everyone's dismay, Bray Wyatt eliminates Octo Bryan, taking him right out of the running for the WWE title. Quite. But it's okay. We still have a bunch of popular wrestlers left in the Royal Rumble that could totally win. Such as... is John Cena in the Royal Rumble? I don't remember. I don't quite recall. I think so. Yes, John Cena. He could win. Number 16 is Goldust, who starts bickering with Stardust. Once again, the crowd shows that they are still focused on the match by chanting for Daniel Bryan long after he's left the arena. Number 17 is Kofi Kingston. Personally, I don't think Kofi Kingston should have been allowed to enter the Royal Rumble. After all, he has a very unfair advantage, what with him being the guy and having done things in the WWE. Number 18 is... Adam Rose! Adam Rose! Kofi Kingston once again displays his athletic prowess by allowing a small crowd of people to carry him from one end of the ring to the other. Must have taken him years of training to perfect that. Adam Rose is eliminated. There's a very scary moment where JBL almost acknowledges the fact that Vince McMahon once won the Royal Rumble. But thankfully, he is soon interrupted by everybody's favorite wrestler, Roman Reigns! Oh no, perhaps you didn't understand me. I said Roman Reigns. No, I think you're all very confused. That's Roman Reigns. Everybody likes him. I know that because the WWE insisted on it. When have they ever been wrong about anything? Roman's mild smugness intensifies as he starts cleaning house, and the crowd is rooting for him by going, ooh. At least I think that's what they're saying. Number 20 is Big E, followed soon afterwards by Mizdow at number 21. Meanwhile, Roman Reigns is wailing on Rusev, and the crowd is showing their support for him doing this by booing wildly. Obviously, they're booing Rusev. Who else would they be booing? Jack Swagger comes out at 22, causing Michael Cole to compare him to Hacksaw Jim Duggan. Come on, Michael. Does Jack Swagger have a tweet on the fridge? I don't think so. Number 23 is Ryback, and everyone is so excited to see him that they start chanting for CM Punk. A man who isn't in the wrestling business anymore, because like the giant dick that he is, he made a conscious decision to change his career. Fuck that guy! Kane is in the match at number 24. And as the announcers love to remind us, Kane has been in a shit ton of Royal Rumbles. This apparently gives him the advantage, even though it also means that he loses every fucking year. But you know what they say, 103rd time's the charm. Number 25 is Dean Ambrose, the lunatic quiff. It's very nice to see Dean in the Rumble, but as we all know, if any ex-member of the Shield is going to win, it's going to be the one who hasn't had any character development or impressive matches since they split up. Gotta love that Roman. At number 26, it's Titus O'Neil, and if you listen very closely, you can actually hear the sound of Vince McMahon scraping the bottom of the barrel. Number 27 is Bad News Barrett, who immediately takes off his Intercontinental title belt and leaves it on the ramp. No, Wade, we just found that thing. It's like you don't even care about the Intercontinental title. Oh, you don't? That's okay, because nobody else does either. The bookers clearly make a huge mistake and send Cesaro out at number 28. But it's far too late to stop him, and he makes it all the way to the ring and actually wrestles on the pay-per-view. Oopsie. Number 29 9 is Big Show. Oh my god, how are people going to eliminate him? He is quite tall. Oh god, it's like he's big or something. JBL comments on Big Show's arrival that the mood has just now changed, which is funny because I noticed a way more distinct mood change when Roman Reigns entered. Also, did you know that Sin Cara is Spanish for you're eliminated? Bizarrely, number 30 is a wrestler that people actually want to win. Dolph Ziggler comes out and does some of that crazy stuff that the kids these days are calling wrestling, only to be cut short by Big Show, who, by the way, is quite tall. Don't know if I've covered that yet. In what is easily the only way that the Royal Rumble could have possibly played out, Big Show and Kane start casually picking up all the wrestlers that people are cheering for and drop them out of the ring like they mean nothing. This leaves only Big Show, Kane, Dean Ambrose, and a realistic cardboard cutout of Roman Reigns left in the ring. Ambrose and Reigns reunite in yet another legitimately cool moment. And then cold water is thrown on everyone's collective groins as Dean is thrown out of the ring. And then everybody in the crowd starts chanting for Roman Reigns. I assure you they are chanting for Roman Reigns. In Philadelphian, bullshit means I really, really like Roman Reigns. They're a strange people. Big Show and Kane attempt to chokeslam each other at the same time because that totally makes sense, and then Roman Reigns eliminates both of them, and the crowd goes wild.
Roman Reigns! Roman Reigns has won the Royal Rumble!
Roman Reigns is headed to WrestleMania!
They're saying, woo! It's just very low-key. Big Show and Kane start beating up on the lifelike Roman Reigns mannequin. But then The Rock comes out of nowhere and saves him! Because apparently we're now acknowledging the fact that they're related, and ignoring the fact that The Shield once beat the holy hell out of The Rock in a previous storyline. Rusev comes out from beneath the ring, and the crowd starts cheering for him because he has renounced his ways and really likes America now. Probably. Or something. Do you believe that? Roman Reigns points victoriously at the Wrestlemania sign, which looks suspiciously like it's merged with Windows Media Player, while Michael Cole announces that we have seen the advent of Roman Reigns. Advent is Spanish for the complete and total destruction of any potential. The Rock raises Roman Reigns' hand and is very confused because people seem to care less about Roman Reigns than they did about Hercules. Triple H and Stephanie come out from the back and they look super pissed, which is weird because why would anybody be pissed that Roman Reigns won the Royal Rumble? I mean, it's unthinkable. The WWE Booniverse starts chanting that they want a refund, doubtlessly because they wanted to see Roman Reigns eliminate even more people that they wanted to win. And things just sort of dwindled to an awkward halt. After this bomb of a pay-per-view, the aptly named Royal Rumble Fallout show begins with Roman Reigns celebrating amongst his fans, all of whom seem to be leaving in a hurry. Well, obviously they want to get home really quickly so they can resubscribe to the WWE Network. Backstage, Tom Phillips slaps away someone's hand before attempting to interview John Cena, only to be interrupted by America's newest hero, Rusev. Rusev and Cena are about to fuck each other or something when all the superstars who were standing randomly 5 feet away jump in and stop them. Then we witness one of the best interviews of Roman Reigns' career, where he says absolutely nothing and The Rock talks for him. The Rock then threatens Tom Phillips multiple times and tells him he's going to get fired. Yes, Tom Phillips, this pay-per-view would have been great if it weren't for you. Way to ruin the Royal Rumble. It's all on you, Tom Phillips. Now even I want a refund. So with the Royal Rumble mercifully out of the way, we're now on the road to WrestleMania, which has been closed due to heavy snow. But never fear, if there's one thing I know, it's that Sin Cara is Spanish for you're eliminated.